Can I mind my own business and not be distracted by others? The noise around us, everywhere you turn, there are voices. Voices telling you who you should be, what you should want, how you should live. They tell you to run faster, to want more, to climb higher, but never to stop. Never to ask if their noise is worth listening to. It's endless, scrolling, comparing, judging. The world pulling you in 1,000 directions until you can't even hear your own thoughts anymore. You feel it, don't you? The constant pull away from your own life and into the lives of others. As if you're a guest in your own mind, renting space to strangers. Pause. Just for a moment. Close your eyes and breathe. Feel how loud it is inside your head. Is it even your voice you're hearing? Or are you echoing others? Ask yourself, can I mind my own business? Can I hold my focus, unmoved by the chaos around me? Or am I always pulled outward, chasing the approval of others, responding to every opinion, distracted from my own path? Marcus Aurelius wrestled with this too. How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbour says, does or thinks, but only at what he does himself to make it just and holy. Even then, centuries ago, the noise was loud. But in this age, where every screen screams for attention, minding your own business feels like rebellion. We are conditioned to look outward, to check what they're doing, to measure our worth against their lives, and in that comparison we lose ourselves. Seneca warned us, "You are everywhere except where you ought to be." How often are we living for the lives of others, chasing after their shadows, forgetting our own? Reflection. Exercise takes 60 seconds. Imagine a life where no one could see what you do. Would you still choose the same actions, the same career, the same goals? Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Can you bear that silence? Can you endure the quiet disapproval of those who want you distracted? We stop asking the hard questions. What am I building? Who am I becoming? Where is my focus leading me? This isn't about ignoring others. It's about mastering yourself. So pause again, strip away the noise, ask yourself, what would my life look like if I stopped being distracted by the world? What would it feel like to live fully present in my own lane? This reflection may change you. Section 1. The pull of distraction. We live in a world designed to steal your attention. Every scroll, every headline, every notification, a hook pulling you further from yourself. Distraction has become the default state of our lives. We move from one screen to the next, one conversation to another, rarely stopping to ask, what is this costing me? And then there are the people, the ones who talk endlessly about others, the ones who gossip, criticize, compete, the ones who measure themselves not by their own progress, but by how they appear in someone else's eyes. How often do we let their noise invade our peace? How much of our mental energy is spent in silent arguments, rehearsing what we might say or how we might win their approval? We step into this arena of endless noise, thinking we're participants. But in truth, we're spectators, watching, judging, envying, while our own lives gather dust. Here's the bitter truth. If you're focused on them, you're not focused on you. Epictetus warned, if you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. Don't wish to seem knowledgeable, but we do wish. We wish to appear wise. We crave applause, approval, attention. And slowly we abandon our own business to mind everyone else's. Think about it. How many times have you scrolled for hours, lost in other people's lives? How often have you been pulled into drama that wasn't yours to carry? How many dreams have you delayed because you were too busy watching others chase theirs? Reflection. Exercise. Write down 3 things you've wanted to do for years but haven't because you're too distracted. What if you took one step today toward just one of them? We convince ourselves we're being informed. We call it staying connected. But in truth, we're drifting. Every distraction is a seed. If watered long enough, it grows into a habit. And habits shape lives. Mini-story. The parable of the distracted man. There was once a man who spent his life chasing shadows. Each morning, he woke and reached for his phone, scrolling through the lives of others before he even took his first breath of the day. He knew the names of celebrities, the scandals of politicians, the triumphs and failures of people he had never met. But when asked what he wanted, what he was building, He could not answer. One day he walked past a garden. The gardener was tending to the soil, pulling weeds, watering the roots of strong, healthy plants. "Why do you waste time on such small tasks?" the man asked. The gardener smiled. "I tend my garden so weeds do not grow. If I leave it untended, it will fill with thorns, and soon there will be no space for beauty to grow." The man looked down at his own hands. For years he had been tending the gardens of others, watching, comparing, judging, while his own had become overrun with weeds. He realized then the only life he could shape was his own. This moment of clarity became the start of his discipline. He began guarding his attention like the gardener guarded the soil. Each day he chose what to water. Each day he chose what to remove. Over time his mind became still, like the river beneath the surface. Section 3. Building the inner fortress. Picture a fortress. Its walls are high, its gates are guarded. Inside there is peace. This is what the Stoics called the inner citadel. A mind so disciplined, no chaos can breach its walls. To mind your own business is to build this citadel, brick by brick, discipline, focus, integrity. Not because it's easy, but because it's the only way to live freely. The world will test you. People will try to pull you into their storms, to make their problems your problems, to bait you into battles that aren't yours to fight. But you must stand firm. Marcus Aurelius said, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say or do, only what you do." Every day there will be invitations to distraction, a friend venting about someone else's failures, a stranger's post that sparks your envy, a headline screaming for your outrage. Each time you are faced with a choice: do I let this in, or do I guard my peace? Conclusion. The discipline to stay centered. When the noise fades and the voice is quiet, you're left with one life, your life. Will you spend it chasing theirs, or will you finally return to your own? The Stoics remind us, don't explain yourself to others. Don't chase their approval. Don't wait for their permission. Simply act. This is your moment. Stay focused. Build quietly. Master yourself. Because in the end, the only business worth minding is your own. If this reflection stirred something in you, subscribe and turn on notifications to stay grounded in Stoic wisdom. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for daily reminders to help you build your inner fortress and guard your peace. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of your discipline.